I came to the museum first as a kid in grammar school, and then got more active after World War II. I got re-involved with the museum through the accident of my company renting the museum for a holiday party. The museum at that point was trying to raise money to build the planetarium building and to buy a new Zeiss projector. The museum had a kiosk which was open that night, and these people were trying to get visitors to sign up to buy a star. Well, they weren't getting much of any customers at all, and I decided that I could change that. So I took over the kiosk, and I knew all these people who were walking by, and I was able to put the heat on them to part with a bit of money to buy a star. It was one of the more successful nights that the museum had had in terms of raising money for the planetarium. During my term, the museum built what was then known as the West Wing. When we went to build it, all the contributions that we had had were used to build the garage. We didn't have a nickel in the bank. I had gone around and talked to various banks here in Boston to see if they would agree to loan us money. All but one bank here in Boston turned me down, so I had to talk the board into agreeing to build the building based on this guarantee of a loan. And a number of trustees really grumbling that night, I remember, on the tour. But the fact of the matter is, we got busy raising money, and we were always able to pay the contractors' bills. We never borrowed anything, even though we could have borrowed up to 100% of it under the agreement that I had with the bank. That got people to feel a sense of urgency. You know, we don't want to borrow that money. And so people stepped up and made some marvelous gifts. I wish that it were possible to quantify how much the museum's gift receipts from individuals comes from planned giving. Bequests and planned gifts look like they are responsible for on the order of half of the individual giving to colleges, universities, the museum, and other charitable organizations. That's why I think it's important to keep working to develop the awareness of that opportunity among the friends of the museum. The Washburn Society membership recognizes both approaches to planned giving. When it was proposed that we have a $250 million campaign, there were a lot of our trustees who really doubted we could ever do such a thing. And only recently, those people have been won over to an understanding that yes, we can do it. I think the museum has a major role to play in terms of broadening the public's understanding of science and technology, because we all know how vital it is. I'm very much interested in and willing to work towards improving the technological understanding of the public in general. I look at the museum as being the place where there is the opportunity to spread that technological understanding. The museum doesn't create the knowledge. That's why I also have a big interest in MIT, because they provide the place where people can come and get a technological education, which in turn produces the new technology, which the museum then has to work with to promulgate to the public in general. So it's a multiple step process.